Welcome to DRB Tunnel Solutions training. In this session, we're going to take a look at the Patheon XPT's customer functions from the staff page.
Now we're going to look at many of the customer-facing capabilities of the XPT. First, we're going to go into our quick status screen by pressing and holding the button. You'll need to press and hold for 8+ seconds. And if you're asked to type in your employee access, you can type that in now or scan a barcode. Now, if there's a vehicle detected, it would show in the current vehicle section. If no vehicle is detected, it would show that on this screen. If we actually detect an RFID tag or a license plate off of that vehicle, it would be shown here. And if we detect that that is a planned customer, it would show the current status of that customer here as well. Notice the reset session button. This would be done anytime you want to completely identify a new customer, or maybe you pull up a customer just to look them up, but you want to reset that session, because pressing resume, if you look somebody up from this screen, would actually put a wash into your wash queue automatically, assuming that they're sitting at the gate. So reset session is used anytime you want to basically cancel out of a customer search. The cart functionality is pretty nifty. It allows you to press one of your rewashes, select a reason for the rewash, and you can either resume the flow and the gate will open up, or you could restart the whole wash and identify a new customer at that point. To get back in, we're going to go ahead and press and hold the button for 8 seconds. In this instance, I have an employee barcode on my phone, so I'll go ahead and open my phone up and scan my employee barcode. Now going to the customer tab, you'll see when no vehicle is detected, it's indicated there. You can search for vehicles when none is detected. This could mean that your proximity loop in the ground is not functioning, or it could mean it's not properly calibrated to pick up high vehicles, for example. You can look up customers by their license plate or part of the plate. Once the vehicle search section comes up, you can go ahead and search for a partial plate. Be sure to hit enter on that partial plate, and all of the results that have that partial plate will be in there, including this one is ABC123 Ohio, my John Doe customer, and it shows me a 2022 Chevrolet truck. I'll verify that that is in fact the vehicle that is in the lane, and if so, I will select that customer. From this screen, you can press the button, which will take a new picture and capture an image of the vehicle right then and there in the lane. If they have an RFID tag that's not being properly read, you could replace it out in the lane by pressing the Add or Replace RFID tag. When you press that Add button, it does validate that this tag is not in use on another customer's record. So now we have the updated information. We have the vehicle information, the main license plate, the name of the customer, the plan that they're in, and the current status. Since we know that this status is active, by pressing resume, the system automatically assumes that you want to fire a plan redemption. So you press resume, the gate opens up, and the vehicle is allowed through. So identifying a customer assumes that we want to redeem that customer. But you also saw several different things that they could do to update the customer information. Now there are other capabilities from the customer tab. Remember, you have to identify yourself as an employee that has access to the XPT. We'll go ahead and scan my employee barcode, and we're brought to the customer tab. We'll search for a customer this time by RFID number or partial RFID number. We'll press enter and we'll see all of our results that come up. We actually, in this case, have two that are very similar or have that same string in there. Once we identify the customer and verify that it's the proper customer, we can check to see if they are a plan member. In this case, we identified the customer, but they're not a plan member. They have an RFID tag, but they're no longer currently in a plan. If there were something wrong with the plan sale process and there should be a plan, where the customer proves that there's that type of situation, what you could do is close down the vehicle search section and go into the cart and simply perform a rewash or a discount that you may have on the sale. This will show the actual cart itself, so let's perform a pay-as-you-go sale. So we'll pick our silver wash, and we have amount due $10. What I will do now is press and hold my button to be brought into the staff screen. Or, let me go ahead and resume that flow. It goes back to the page that we were at during the sale process. Notice my barcode scanner is also active on this page. So instead of pressing and holding the help button for 8 seconds, if I merely scan my employee barcode, it brings me automatically into the staff page. I'll go to the customer tab in the cart, and now I see the silver wash that's already in the cart. So I can add an additional coupon, for example, and it brings my balance due down to $5. I can resume the sale and see the balance due is updated. At this point, the customer can pay with cash or credit card to complete the sale. There are some other things that you can do in the customer screen. We'll go ahead and press the customer section. When we pull up a customer, and it may be a customer that's sitting at the actual gate, or it may be somebody that you just want to update their information because you have some downtime. Once you pull that customer up, you can add new RFIDs, update new RFIDs to the information here. There may be additional features in the future. You can also look up the customer by the credit card or partial credit card, the RFID, the license plate, their phone number, and there's all of my phone numbers that have the same area code and first three. If you have multiple pages, you can go to the next page by hitting the page button at the bottom here, or going back a page, and you could search by name. When you pull up a customer that is a current plan customer, keep in mind that it will only allow you, when you press resume, to fire that plan if the car is not already in queue. I already put this in queue and haven't washed this, so if I were to resume now, it wouldn't do anything by opening the gate. But notice we see the status of the plan showing as active here. This is extremely helpful because now we don't have to walk to a backup cashier or another terminal to look up information about the customer. Once we've looked up that customer and escaped out of the search menu, you'll see that their information is updated here. And if we have a current vehicle picture, it would also be shown here as well. If we were just performing a maintenance type of session, you'll want to press Reset Session, which will actually change it back to no vehicle being detected or searched for. And those are the customer updating capabilities currently in the Patheon XPT.
Thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions or questions, please email our training department.